Okay, today we are going to talk about the Grand Tour, the American Grand Tour of the 1830s. But before I do this, I want you to look at some images. So what I want you to do is move me to the side, pause me, and open the Market Revolution file. It's a PDF file. What it actually is, it's a PowerPoint in a PDF. So open that up and then come back. I'll give you a second. Okay, you got it? Okay, here we go. Look at the first image on there. It's an image of New York. And this is where the Grand Tour happened. This is where people came from all over Europe and all over parts of the US to go on this American Grand Tour because in the 1830s and 40s there was this fascination with America. I mean, it's not as great as Rome, but there is a fascination because this was an experiment in government that no one thought would work. They didn't think it would stick. They didn't think this country would be around. So they're interested in what's there. So this is what the tour involved. You came over on a sailing ship, a standard kind of sailing ship like we've been thinking of for a very long time. You came over on a sailing ship to New York. You see New York down at the bottom of the page, New York City. Well, you land on Manhattan. And from Manhattan, you board a steamboat. Steamboat probably run by Robert Fulton at the time. And that steamboat is going to take you all the way up the Hudson River. So follow straight up the Hudson River, directly out, until you get to that white open area where you're actually going to get off the steamboat and board a canal boat. And you're going to take the Erie Canal, this amazing new canal that is going to stretch for 363 miles across the state of New York. They actually dug a ditch, this massive ditch, through the mountains, through locks, up over the mountains, down the other side, across the state of New York. And you will ride on these canal boats going through beautiful scenery. At the end of the canal boats, you come to basically what is now Buffalo. At Buffalo, meaning Buffalo, New York, you are going to get off the canal boat and onto a stagecoach. Exactly what you think, an old stagecoach on an old road. Um, at that point, they took the stagecoach to Niagara Falls. We all know Niagara Falls, right? Heart-shaped bed, wine glass-shaped the hot tubs, right? But this amazing huge fall. It is a natural wonder of the world, and everybody wanted to see it. And the amazing thing is, you could. It's not like going to Zimbabwe or to going to Victoria Falls or going to some of these other amazing falls. This was accessible, and it was accessible solely because of this new thing that had happened called the transportation revolution. And what's amazing is that they took all these different routes of transportation. Yes, they're sailing over. They get to the city of New York. They get on a steamboat. They go up the river, not down the river. Down the river is easy. You float. Up the river is hard. They take a canal all the way overland to get to um, Buffalo, where they're able to then take the more conventional stagecoach along a road to actually get there to Niagara Falls. And then, of course, you return on the trip. And this is something a lot of people did, but this is something that could be done for the first time. People are on the move. People are using these new forms of transportation. It's a time of activity. And it's these new forms of transportation that are going to allow people to move west, which we talked about next week. It's also going to allow people to move goods in ways that they hadn't before, which, as we'll talk about, is pretty important. See you next time.